One of the things I think about when parents say my child isn't motivated is have they played with the motivation equation? Because motivation isn't random. Motivation, there's a lot of equations, but the simplest one is that motivation equals expectation times value minus the cost. If we break it down like this, we can start asking them different questions and look at different variables that might need to be adjusted. And so for that, first we're going to take a look at what happens when expectation is not lining up, is not meeting up to the motivation standard. Because there's some reasons that this could be. One of the reasons is that, they have repeated failure, or you might think of learned helplessness. There's a history of failing or quitting, or maybe even both. So if there's both, if we got that going on, they don't expect to be able to accomplish whatever that is the goal is that they're trying to set. Another thing that might be having the expectation be low is that there's been an over dependence. They don't have self trust. They can't trust themselves. This might be a case of someone always stepping in, parents always stepping in, and so they never get the chance to develop the evidence that they are actually competent. This leaves them feeling like they don't know to how to be able to do something if they're on their own. A third reason for it is they're feeling overwhelmed. The task that's being asked is just too big. Um, we say go get a job, and they're sitting there thinking like, I don't know how to look up what jobs are available. Don't know how to fill up the application. Don't know how to do the interview. I'm terrible with people. Ah, this is what might be going on in their head. And if that's the case, then the question becomes not whether they are motivated or not, but whether we can make them think that they can, believe that they can. So a simple fix for it is to shrink the goal. I was talking about how we can get a job. How about instead fill out an application, shrink the goal. Maybe you do two. Once we get that on the belt, we can start leveling up to how to do an interview and then landing the job. Doing this, we start building up the evidence of competence, which makes them feel more confident. Expectation is just asking the question if you can succeed or not. And if the expectation is a no, well, it's likely going to present itself as a confident issue. Yes. Value is asking, is it worth it to me? There's a lot of stuff that we do that we just don't really care about doing. Daily chores and daily errands. I mean, other kinds of obligations. We don't really want to do them. And well, this makes us be more compliant than engaged with the task. Sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's that they have no desire to grow. The comfort is more preferable over the pain of growth. Maybe they were just in passive environments for too long that feel rewarding. Usually escaping or escapism is what they're doing instead of trying to reach for the betterment of their life. Because real life, it can feel slow, it can feel boring. Maybe you heard them say that a few times, or even uncertain. Which, let's face it, nobody wants to be feeling uncertain. They might have different values because of their identity or the group that they're in. A lot of people seem to be missing out on the social aspect of life these days. And so they go into social media sites and develop communities there. Unfortunately, there's some that are prone to be less than advantageous, especially in the department of improving yourself. And when you're surrounded by people that normalize you stagnating into an area, it's gonna feel like who you are, and why would you want to change that? Sometimes they just might not have an emotional connection to the future. They don't feel why independence matters, and they get in their head that it's just something I'm supposed to do. Uh, Unfortunately, that will never make somebody feel engaged, and it's a crucial aspect of being motivated. One of the fixes we can do to increase value is that we connect an action that they need to do to something they care about. Everybody wants a little more freedom, so they want some money, they want some more their own space, they want to be able to make choices. Some other people might even just want some self-respect, be able to view themselves how they want to view themselves. In the end, if it doesn't feel meaningful, then it won't feel motivating. And then we have the cost. This is asking what is required of me. What's it going to cost? Some of the things that get in the way are the emotional cost. We start having that fear, that anxiety, the shame, the fear of, having to leave our old identity behind, the anxiety of having to do something new, and the shame of not being able to succeed in that. All of these are the costs. And then we also have the effort cost, the effort part of that cost. It feels like too much work compared to the current amount of comfort is what we might be facing right here. So we might be looking at how can we lower the cost a little bit. And of course, I mentioned that we might want to try and keep our old identity, but we're going to fight to keep that identity or the lifestyle. We might be thinking if I change, I lose my routine, I lose my escape, lose my group, and nobody wants to feel like they're losing anything. Unfortunately, no matter what you do, it's gonna require a cost, and they might not have figured out how to let go of what they need to let go of. So if it's a cost issue, then we know we can lower the friction and we can make comfort harder to obtain. James Clear is pretty good with this in his book Atomic Habits, where he breaks down where he's talking about how everybody knows that we need better habits, but for some reason the bad habits seem to be the ones winning. He says make the better habits easier to do, and the harder habits harder to do, and they'll be more tasteful. Turns out that's actually pretty good and pretty accurate. So if you think they're stuck, it may be one of three things. They don't believe they can, their expectation. They don't see why it matters. There's no value in it. It feels too costly. They don't know how to do it to cost. So knowing which lever to pull makes motivating someone much easier. And if this helped you get clarity on your situation, then it's time to grow. I'm grow time, trying to grow up and build a community. So if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments with commenting interested. I will look forward to getting to know y'all better.